Hey there, YouTube, fellow travelers and all. This is Randy, the Mobile Traveler. How y'all doing today? I'm doing pretty good. Well, today is Sunday, and it's a day for doing chores. And I'm going to take you guys with me for a few of them. I'm going to finish installing a water pump system, a hand pump for the camper. And I think I might do a little bit of welding. I don't know if I'll get to that today, but you never know. I'm also going to finish installing a plug-in for a 12-volt system. That way I can plug in a 400-watt inverter into that plug-in. I don't have to use my big inverter. And I might do a few other things. Anyway, but y'all come along with me. Yeah, it's kind of fun. Something to do. That way you guys can hear me do a little jaw jacking too. Alright, I'll come back to you when it's time to work. Well guys, what I'm doing here is I'm just attaching these wires together. And I will be using this fancy little connector right here. You know, I got the other ones done already. So I didn't think I really needed to show you all of it. But at least I'm going to show you how to do it. Easy done. You just make sure that your wires are long enough to go in there. And I use pliers just because I don't have all that fancy equipment, that electrical stuff. And make sure you get a good squeeze on it. Which I didn't. I dropped it. Hang on. I might have to come back to you because I think I lost it. Who knows what I did. You can see. That's one of the bloopers, right? Yeah, that ain't it. Yeah, you know, I'm always dropping things, losing them. That's part of the perils of working in tiny spaces. So, I'm going to try to do this here and shut you off. Well, people, what I'm doing here is I'm connecting the power wires. This one to this one. And as you can see up there, I got 3 plugs. I'm going to hook a female end to one end and a male end to the other. And that way, I can disconnect them when I need to, if I ever need to. Now, some of y'all say, we'll just wire them up together. But I try to use connectors at all times. I don't have all the fancy equipment needed. So, like your electrical plugs, your electrical tools. But I have a pair of wire cutters. And I will squeeze it together. I just won't go tight enough. As you can see, it's not going tight enough to cut it. But it is crimping it. And I do that a couple times. And that'll crimp it into place. Give it a little tug. And guess what? It didn't work. Because I didn't go tight enough. So, we're going to put this one on this end. Go a little bit tighter. Anyway, this is just some of the things that you do out here on the road. Just like you do at home. So that one's a little bit tighter. And it should hold the connector. See that? Pulling on it, she's tight. Another thing you can do is you wrap tape around it. And that'll be extra security. Now that is the male end. And I'll get the female end. We'll do the same thing up here. Just slide that wire in till it stops. I don't know if you guys can see my hand in the way here. And give it a good crimp. Just not enough to where I cut the wire through. And that'll hold it tight, good and solid. And there you have it. And then I'll plug it in. Nice. There we go. And this little connector doesn't seem to want to work on there. It doesn't want to stay up there. So I might have to work on that today too. Anyway, that's that. Pretty cut and dry there. Takes all of about what? I don't know, 2 minutes. So anyway, that is what I just installed. It's got your readout of your batteries. It's got a 12-volt plug. And it's got some USBs over there. And she's working. Saying my batteries are what? 12.9 right now. Good deal. Okay. I'll come back to you. Hey guys. Now what I have here is the second one of my chores. What I have is one of them hand pumps. It's an old one, but it still works. You just move that handle up and down, pump up the water, and you're set. You're going to have running water. And you just take a hole saw, drill your hole where you want it. It's easy. I got to tell you what, some of this stuff that I'm videotaping, it's easy. As long as you got, you only need 1/4 of a mind to figure it out. So I guess I'm good to go, huh? Anyway, you see that, got this tube on the end right here. That tube's what's going to go into the water pump. And naturally, you got to screw it down. And y'all know how to put in a screw, so I'm not going to show you that. Anyway, I'm going to drill a hole right here. And that tube's going to come out of that hole. You guys want to see me drill? Anyway, I'll come back to y'all. All right, chore number 2 complete. And you can see we have running water as soon as I pump it up. See that? Running water. And yes, it is screwed down. And what I did was I put in, as soon as the light catches up, bam, a 4-gallon water tank. This water tank I can remove and use filtered water, whatever I want. Go to Walmart, get it filtered, or just use potable water for cleaning. You name it, you can use it. And yes, there's the hole that I drilled. I ran it underneath by the refrigerators down here. There's that tube right back there. Okay, now on to chore number 3. And chore number 3 is also going to make life a little bit easier. Now, what I did here, look at that mess. Oranges love them. We got spice jars. They're plastic. Well, I don't have enough room in my spice rack because I got paints up there. So, I'm going to take these and I'm going to fix them to the bottom of that. Now, how I'm going to do that is double-sided tape right on top of that lid. That's all you need. Little double-sided tape. You put them where you want them. You stick it right there on top. See that? And then you're set. Now, I got 3 of them. I'm going to put salt and pepper in them, garlic, whatever you want to put in them. But it's right by the stove, and it just screws right out. I got to let that sit, of course. And we will be good to go. Oh boy, if that ain't an outtake, I'll come back to you. Well, I figured out what I did wrong on those salt and pepper spice holders. I should have put the lid on first, but I got it. Now, as you can see, I got 2 of them right there. Now, I'm just putting the lid on itself. And that will allow me to place it where I want it and actually pushing the center of it instead of around the outside, because these lids are kind of concave. So, now they'll hold. They'll hold now. Well, maybe they won't. Maybe I'll have to put a screw in them. I don't know. But this seems to be working okay now. Leave it to Randy to screw up, right? All right, there we go. Works for me. Bam. We got 2 of them set. I'm gonna set this camera down for a minute because I gotta get the other one. So, chores are chores, people. Chores are chores, and if this don't work, I'm gonna put a screw in the damn things and call it good. And that's probably what I'll have to do, because this tape ain't wanting to stick because I keep bumping it. So, there you go. All 3 up. All 3 tight. Now watch me pull it off, right? Bam! Blooper. Well, the whole idea with the double-sided tape didn't pan out for me. So, what I did was I grabbed some screws, some washers, and right there, I just put this little screw in a washer and screw it on. There you go. I got one sitting there, and it's solid. Easy to do. Don't take nothing. You just slide it in. And of course, make sure you use the right size screws for the right size washers. Okay, let me get a smaller one on there. We're set. So, what are you guys doing on this great Sunday? Getting your chores done? Hell, I am. All done with that chore. They just screw right on. And it's going to make life easier. Better for cooking. Better for traveling. Better for space. Y'all can do this at home. I did that in my stick and bricks also. I just affix these little things, you know, to the underside. Salt and pepper, garlic, you name it. Hell, I even did it to the garage. Got my screws, my nuts, my bolts, my washers. So, that's where they were at. So when somebody says, Randy, you got a screw loose, I'm like, well, let me go get another one because I know right where they're at. All right. Next chore coming up. Hey, people. Okay. Now that the day's about done, Ace needs a little bit of loving here. He's kind of being a camera hog, isn't he? Look at him. Look at that mug. Okay. The chores are finished for the day. Ace, please stop. And, yeah, I left the bloopers in there because, you know, that's real life. And it's kind of fun. Y'all know I'm kind of a screwball, kind of a goof off every now and then. Anyway, remember, drive safe and travel on, people. One of these days, you just might join us out here. It'll be a hoot. Yeah, I don't usually use that word, but it sounded good today. All right. Remember, love one another if you can, and if you can't, you try a little bit harder. Thanks for joining me, guys.